I've been using these for almost 2 months. I have also used cheap cotton circular pads and a box of disposable pads. These are my favorite. First, the heart shape. It was a little annoying at first because it wasn't particularly obvious how to put them on. Eventually I settled on a random orientation roughly centered on the nipple. To me, the main advantage of the heart shape is breaking up the outline of the pad. When the edges are visible through my shirt, it looks like random creases instead of a bullseye centered around my nipple. Yes, the edges are visible sometimes. Bummer. They're less visible than the cheap cotton pads I've used, but I didn't have that trouble with the disposable pads. I guess I could keep a few disposables handy for the times that I really care about lines showing. A couple of the pads warped a little around the edges after washing and are more visible than the rest, but it's not a big difference. They're pretty absorbent. One advantage over the cheap cotton ones is that the Bamboobies won't leak through. They'll leak around the edges, but only after the whole pad is soaked. Cotton pads, without the Bamboobies waterproof layer, can leak as soon as one part of the pad is soaked, even if the rest of the pad is dry. The final straw that made me shell out for these. I've leaked with Bamboobies one time. The pad was completely soaked and it would be a bit unreasonable to expect any pad to have prevented that leak. I see a reviewer mentions that the pads don't stay in place. I have not experienced that problem, even though I also have large breasts. Perhaps the fit of the bra holding them in place is a factor. I put serious effort into getting nursing bras that fit well. How many should you buy? I find that my 6 pairs is enough to always have some clean. I rarely use more than 1 pair each day. If you try to get by with 2 pairs, you would need to wash them almost every night. I expect them to last through nursing this baby, but it's too early to know if they'll last beyond that. I'll be up front that I am not a really heavy leaker at all. I could wear the same pad all day or all night and not have to change it. I wear them just as an extra precaution for the tiny bit of milk that does leak out and for the protection to keep my nipples from rubbing on my bras and getting irritated. I feel like I've tried every nursing pad out there, and they all seem to have their pros and cons. I started with the Lancino disposable breast pads. They do the job and work just fine, but since I don't leak much I felt like I didn't need to change them out all the time and I'd wear the same one all day. I think this caused me to develop thrush, which wasn't fun. To me the biggest con was that they're disposable. It seemed like such a waste to throw away barely used nursing pads. Also, I'll admit that I've turned a bit crunchy, since I had my baby and have jumped on the cloth diapers and wipes, mama cloth, reusable snack bags, etc. Bandwagon. Most of the reason for that is because I hate throwing money away every time I use one of those disposable products. So I started looking into reusable nursing pads. The first I tried was Lilapads. I actually really liked them. They stayed put and I liked the barrier they provided between my sensitive nipples and my clothing. The big downside to them was they trapped in the moisture and got stinky really quickly. To the point where I'd take them off and would be grossed out at the smell of my breasts. I exclusively pump, but my baby has kind of showed interest in breastfeeding after 3 months of drinking my milk out of a bottle, and I couldn't help but think that he wouldn't be interested in a stinky boob, so I decided to try something different. I do like the Lilapads for working out and the rare times I want to go braless. But for an everyday thing, they just weren't cutting it. Which leads me to the Bamboobies. They work just like a disposable pad, but are washable, which is really nice. I like that they are thin and unassuming and the fabric is nice and soft, much softer than the disposable pads. Click link in description for more info.